Okay, so now I'm just going to introduce E.L. Graham to the platform, and let's give him a round of applause. Thank you.
How's everybody doing? Good? Good? Okay. Right. Today I wanted to actually speak about power of thinking, which we are going to talk about the power of thinking. But just before we actually go into the power of thinking, I've had a lot of requests on the definition of personal development. How many of us know exactly the definition of personal development, what personal development is? Can I have a show of hands? Okay, there's a few hands. A few hands, right? Okay, so I see that it's quite a strong request, exactly what personal development is. My background is, I've come from architecture. And from architecture, project management, plus I went into property development. And as you know, with a property developer, you will see, the general eye will see a house which is, say, a 3-bedroom house. They will see a 3-bedroom house. With a property developer, he will actually see a 5-bedroom house. Right? He will see a 5-bedroom house. Somebody like a Donald Trump will go into, not just a stone throw from here, he will go into, say, the Docklands. Who remembered how the Docklands looked about 15 years ago, or actually about 20 years ago? And developers will go in and they can see Canary Wharf. They can see Stratford City. They can see it. It's complete. They can actually see Stratford City. They can see Canary Wharf. Now, what property development is developing something within its same state. So you see a 3-bedroom. What the property developer can see, he can see this in the natural area. You can see this empty space next to the side of this building. But what he can see, he can actually see a garage. And on top of the garage, he can see a room. And then within the house, he can actually see the roof area, which is void and empty. And he can actually see a loft conversion. Now, that house, which was a 3-bedroom house, now is a 5-bedroom house. Now, what has done? What's happened to that house? What's changed with that house? What's the benefits of a 3-bedroom house turning into a 5-bedroom house? Sorry? Value. Yes, money. Value. I'm glad that you actually mentioned those two things, money and value. Now, we look at money as value. If I can have more money, we look on it as value. But money actually isn't value. Because we can see how Jamaica, let's just take Jamaica. Jamaica was, say, $2 to the English pound. When they became independent, it became $140 to the English pound. You look at Barbados, they're well more off, where it's $3 to the English pound. Why? Because of values, right? Because of values. So what actually is money? What money is the expression of value. It's the expression of value. It's the very marker that you use to exchange values. So value, I have a quote, I've written a book called Word Tablet, and value is the motive for exchange. Value is the motive for exchange. And value will never be denied an exchange. So what am I talking about? Let me just break it down a bit more. Many of us are on hourly rates. You can have somebody who's on an hourly rate which is, say, £5 an hour, right? £5 an hour. And you want to make more money. So you look at doing overtime, right? So you're looking at doing overtime, so you're looking to add more time to have more money, because you're looking within your space of time, all you can actually see is £5 an hour. But you can actually have a lawyer who's earning what? £800 an hour. In that same hour, it's no different hour with the lawyer to the person who is either waiting tables. Well, the minimum wage is about £6.50 now, isn't it? £6.50, right? There's no difference at all of the same hour. It's the same hour, the same 60 minutes. That lawyer is earning 800, and that person who's waiting tables is earning $5, sorry, America, right? £5 in that same hour, right? What's the difference? Why is this lawyer earning £800 and this person is earning £5? Value. Value. Remember, money is the value, is the expression of value. So personal development is all about working on you, not working on your job. It's not about working on your job, making your job better. It's about making you better so you become more valuable, so you become more on demand. So that's what personal development materials about. That's what personal development conferences is about. That's what personal development webinars are about. It's all about empowering you. It's all about bringing more value to you, yes? You see certain musicians or session musicians, right? Certain session musicians will actually get a particular amount of money within an hour, and certain other musicians will get another certain amount of money in an hour. Now, why? What's the difference? It's because they've worked on their skill. They've worked on their skill, and because they worked on their skill, they make themselves more valuable. I was working with a gentleman. I'll tell you a story, true story. A young man, I'm not going to call his name, but I'm sure within the sessions to come, he's just eager. He will come up here and he will give his testimonial. But this young man, he's about, 24 years old, 24, 26 years old, and working within a department store. And actually, the department store is a Body Shop. It's all right for me to say this. Yeah, the department store is a Body Shop. And for 22 years, I've been using Body Shop stuff. What I actually use is the that tea tree. Yeah, that tea tree range, right? Yeah, the scrub, the moisturizer. Yeah, and something else. But sorry, I'm going down the side road. Let me go back to the main road. Sorry. Right? And now 22 years. I'm over 50 years old. Right? I'm over 50 years old. So, Body Shop, I think they're saying something. Yeah? All right? Yeah? Yeah, and the water. Sorry, I just have to do a little water break here. And this young man, he looked a bit low. When I went into the store, he was looking a bit low. I said, hey, I just call him D right now. Hey, D, what's up? He said to me, because within Body Shop, mainly you will see women managers in Body Shop. And in his particular area, he was actually outdoing all the other shops in their sales. And for a good time, I think he was there for about 3 years, he's never ever got a promotion. And people coming after him was getting promotions. So he said that he had enough, and he's got an interview the following week. And I said, right, okay, have you got 20 minutes? He said, yeah, because he's the manager of the store. So he he came aside, pulled him aside, and I said to him, I'm going to share a couple of things with you, but listen closely. But you have to listen closely because I'm going to really say these things very quickly to you. And I said to him, value is the motive for exchange. Value is the motive for exchange. And value will never be denied an exchange. I said to him, when you go into the interview, there's a reason why they're actually calling you in, because he brought in his resume first, his CV first, so they're calling him in, yes? That's the procedure. So there's something on his CV that has interested them. why they're actually pulling him in, why they're calling him, why they're allowing this young man to take up their time, because there is something on the CV that they've seen that has interested them, which is of value, right? So I said, when you go into the room, listen out for what they're going to highlight from your CV. And soon as you hear what they're saying, sorry to use this term, but you know exactly what I'm saying it in a positive term, go for the kill, right? Go for the kill. And he heard it because they were repeating it. They were repeating the value on his CV. So now he started to elaborate on the value, started to elaborate on his experience, his skill pertaining to the value. And he started to see a smile. And there was a man that was sitting right next to him, and he was actually, right, the major senior manager or regional manager. And he said, you know something, there's two guys that are outside that are coming in after you. And he said to him, you know, are you interested? Do you want this position? He goes, yeah, sure. He goes, right, you've got the position. You've got the position. Even though I have to see two other guys outside, I don't want to lose you. You've got the position. Why? Because it's a universal principle. It's a universal law. Value is the motive of exchange. And I know that we're not actually going into the whole thing of universal principles and spiritual laws right now and my book, Word Tablet. But what I'm saying, universal principles work. Just like 2 + 2 = 4 or 3 + 1 = 4, universal principles, spiritual laws work. Law means rule of action. If you apply that law, you will never be denied the results of that law, right? Okay? Right? Now, right, he became this trainee manager, then he became a manager, and guess what? Within 6 months, he became a branch manager. And he said to me, EL, I can't get it out of my head. I can't get that value is the motive of exchange. I can't get it out of my head. That's personal development.